What is up, guys and girls? Hurricane Liz here, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys 5 common mistakes that most people make selling KDP. So this is going to answer everybody out there in the comments that's like, Liz, it isn't as easy as you make it seem, or I can't sell anything on KDP. Well, I will tell you why you can't sell anything: because you are doing things wrong. Chances are you're listening to all the KDP gurus, when in reality, you should be listening to what to do with the Amazon algorithm and Amazon SEO, because the name of the game on all of Amazon is how do we rank on page 1. And I'll tell you what, I got the goods and I learned that shit down in Mexico, so you cannot find it anywhere else. And today we're gonna go over these 5 common mistakes, and one of them, like I said, we've already kind of touched on, but you will be shocked, you will be surprised, and you will be happy that you paid attention to what I'm about to say. So let's go ahead and jump straight in. All right, so the biggest mistake that I see people make is they spray and pray. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I mean exactly what it says. I see people advising everyone, just make a bunch of books, keep putting books every day, keep working on those books, and just keep uploading. And at some point, one will sell, and then you'll understand what niche you're going into. So I see people just creating a ton of books, and now even further than that, they're getting hit with duplicate content, and they're getting penalized for creating books that look like the same old shit. So what I'm saying to you guys is, whatever it is that you do, do not spray and pray. Make sure you put enough effort and put into a book enough quality where you're proud of it and you're out there walking tall and proud and telling the whole world, hey, this is my book, and take a look at it. Because the days of spray and pray are over. They're not gonna work, and that's the single biggest mistake that I see most KDP sellers make, is they feel that they can just launch a shit ton of books and they sell. Again, the spray and pray does not work in this day and age. So the second biggest mistake that I see people make is they never create a budget for a book. So let me talk about what I mean here. There's 2 things that you have to keep in mind. Now, take a look at this. If I look up and just look for large print Sudoku, and this is obviously one of my favorite actual examples to use. So if I look at large print Sudoku and take a look at these top things right here, these books right here are running advertisements. And I don't exactly know what kind of filter I have on here or why I've got this here, but who knows? I download all sorts of Amazon search tools, and who knows what this is. But fact of the matter is, I'm looking at this specifically, and what's happening here is they are running a headline ad to be able to show these books off. And when people click on them, yes, they are being charged a fee in order for people to click on them. And still, yes, people have to buy them in order for them to earn money off of them. But the single biggest mistake that I see is that people don't create a budget for these types of advertisements. And so as a result, they're just not selling any books. And if we take a look at the really big niches like activity books for kids, we can see that several people are doing it. It's not just these headline ads, but it's also these sponsored listings like this one right here and this one right here, which just happens to be a Kindle book, which is fire, and it's crushing it. It is #1 in books. Now, I really want you to kind of understand what the actual ramifications are of being #1 in books. And let's take a quick look at how much exactly it's doing if it is #1 in books. So I just put in #1 right here, 5,000 copies a day of this one book. That is teaching children how to write their numbers and their letters. It's that simple. So my whole point is, there's a reason that this book is #1, and it just doesn't include luck in spraying and praying. It includes a very well thought out and built out manufactured plan to pay money for advertising and also do something else that I'm gonna reveal here in a second. Now, the actual author of this, you can take a look and see how well does she do other things, right? And fact of the matter is, if I look down here, she's got one book that's #1, a second book that's 278, and a third book that is 1,290, all built all about the premise of teaching children how to write. Seriously, this is as easy as pie. So what you see here is, I would, out of my curiosity would have me ordering this book, checking it out, see what she's doing, but she has just become an expert in the field of teaching children to write, and it's all under her name. And if you were able to do one of my tips here in a second, which I'm gonna give you, if you did one of my tips here that I'm about to give you, you would be able to uncover more about Miss Crystal Radke. So let's get into the third biggest mistake that I see people make. And let's take it a step further. What kind of budget should you be creating? Well, here is how I would go about and do something like this is I would make it a point to whatever book I decided to specialize in, maybe even doing as little as $2 or $3 budget a day for the first 30 days just to see what the heck happens. I think you'd be surprised at what happens. And I know there's a lot of people that are possibly scared of advertising, or they've never even thought of it, or they don't actually know what they're doing. Well, again, that's a whole nother game. But again, it's just part of learning this actual game of Kindle Direct Publishing. So the third biggest mistake I see people make is they don't study the competition. So let me show you what I was able to gather about how this lady is actually making her book sell well. I stalked her, I investigated her, and I do one of my techniques called the stalking method. And I went in there and I really wanted to know what in the heck is she doing that nobody else is doing. And so I looked her up and I noticed immediately that all her books sell extremely well. So I took this a step further and I went on over to Facebook and I began to stalk her on Facebook to see what the heck was happening, right? I really want to know this information. So I entered her name in here and was checking out what was going on here. And I saw her here. And so I clicked into it and I could see that she's right there. And I started to like investigate further because I really want to know what in the heck is my competition doing. And upon just dumb luck, somehow I found some kind of information that showed what the name of her company was. And I finally figured out where I saw it right in here. So I clicked on this site and I found out that it's a Creative in Life. So I just went into the rabbit hole and I typed in here, Creative in Life, and I clicked on this and I found Creative in Life, and still it's her picture, so I know that this is the company. And I took a look at what they were doing on their Facebook page, but here's where things got really interesting, so pay close attention. This is why I get paid the big bucks. If you're interested in hiring me, click below somewhere. So I clicked into page transparency and I came over here into the ad library and I noticed that this company is doing, guess what? They're running Facebook ads. They're running Facebook ads, and this is in fact how they're selling more books than you or I are, or all those haters out there that are saying like, oh Liz, you make this seem like it's so easy, but it's not. It is when you know how to do the right marketing. And it is when you actually create budgets for your books and you just don't fucking spray and pray and just hope something hits, throw shit at the wall and hope something sticks. No, that doesn't work. It's Amazon, it's an algorithm, and this is easier than private label. I can tell you guys that much. I know that for a fact. So investigate and stalk your competition. Yeah, I'm a stalker. Hey, yeah. But I know there's probably some of you out there that done worse than stalking your competition. You probably stalk girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever it is, lovers, mistresses. I don't care what you're doing, kids. All right, so that's my lesson on stalking the competition. Let's go into number 4. Number 4 is obviously just get better at marketing. Try to figure out how you can sell this thing. Now, upon my stalking, I've seen a lot of things being done in this niche, including, like I said, Facebook ads being run. I've seen some Instagrams. I've seen some giveaways. I've seen, obviously, advertisements. And there's all sorts of different ad accounts that you can actually have within Amazon. That's why it's good when you're a ninja in Amazon, because then you can use your rubber chicken nunchucks and do all this magic. But fact remains that you want to try and have multiple outlets if you're really going to make a go at building this into a bigger brand. So this particular person, Crystal Radke, has got a Facebook page with 43,000 likes. She's also a blogger. So if you go down the rabbit hole, you can probably find out that she's blogging about mommy blogging stuff. And that's how she's making money with these books and all this stuff rolled into one. And she's running ads on Amazon. So she's doing a lot of different things in order to make this money. You need to be too. You can't just spray and pray. And that brings me to the last and final lesson, number 5. And this is a big one, so pay close attention here. Here's what happens. We've got people that are telling you, all right, take a look at some research. Do some research like nurse. Let's just do nurse. I see this one all the time. Nurse journals, right? If we look at nurse journal, there's 2,000 results, which means it's pretty darn competitive, right? Yet if we look at the actual amount of money being made in these, I also hear, all right, let's make sure that there's a couple good ones that are selling. So this one's 300,000 in books, 1 million in books, 16,000. There's not really a lot selling here if you really think about it. They're not selling too well. This Zen is F-U-C-K, which I don't like to say, is selling all right. So if you really think about this from a perspective of, is anything really selling? No, it's not. So why in the heck would you further investigate the nurse journal unless you just wanted to sell like one a week, right? So nurse journal, and let's just say for patient care, that's a hot one right now. or so people say it's a hot one, right? And if I look at this, okay, great, there's 228 results. This is what all the gurus are telling me to go after, something that has under 1,000 results, something that I could sell, sneak in here and sell magically because it'll automatically rank since I don't have to compete with all these people. That is the problem. You're not looking for competition. You should be looking for competition. Competition is a sign that it has a healthy niche and there's plenty of money to go around. But in this nursing niche for self-care, there really ain't anybody selling this crap. So what does that usually mean? That there really ain't anybody buying this crap. So yeah, if you're happy with the sale every couple days, then by all means, knock yourself out, stick to the nurse niche, and your paycheck is gonna suffer. So don't just settle for a very low competition niche. Make a plan with the budget, stock the competition so you can execute on that plan and be able to compete in real niches that make real money. Like I said, you don't want to be stuck spraying and praying unless you got an entire group of Filipinos that are actually creating these books for you. Then if you don't, you're going to be stuck and become a person that's stuck on the computer all day, not living the 4-hour work week. So what I like to do is I like to go into competitive niches with a plan, make a budget, plan to spend some money on ads, and do some external marketing in order to build a long-term book brand. Crystal Radke did it, so I don't see why you couldn't do it. Again, hopefully that helps some of you guys in terms of my 5 biggest mistakes that I see the common seller out there doing. And other than that, let me know your questions and comments. I personally answer them. But if you need any other help, just let me know.